So I'm going to take you through two different snatch and clean variations. You probably will see like a lot of non-weightlifting athletes, like throwers and track and field athletes do. And I want you to understand them because they do have a lot of value in applying them to weightlifting. You have to understand what they're for. So this is going to be the trappy or the heaving variation of the snatch or the clean, and then the bounce version, the ballistic version. Some people call them the Alechna version of the snatch and clean. Now, what you're initially going to notice is that the heaving version looks like you're just pulling with your arms, you're swinging it away, you're not contacting the hip or the thigh as ballistically as you would in the snatch or clean, which is correct. But just because that's the case doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. We all know that stuff like slow pull tempo snatches, no contact snatches and cleans are very, very useful for fixing our technique, even though they take something that's very integral about the competition and change it. This is the same. Now, the trappy version or the heaving version is going to be similar to no contact in that you're not looking for ballistic contact to the hip, but you're almost looking to hit and then catch the bar. You're looking to stay connected to it the entire time, and that is what it should feel like. If you get a trappy lift right, similar to no contact, you should feel quite muscular the whole way through. Like there's not this massive acceleration as you hit the hip and then drop, as you have to change gears. It feels like one smooth motion where you're having to work with your muscles quite a lot, like you're pulling on an elastic band and trying not to let it snap out your hands. So the bounce power snatch is the opposite. We're looking to make contact faster than it would be in the normal snatch or clean. So we have to deal with producing force faster and also have to learn to turn over and transition under faster. So I'm going to show you both variations. I'll do the snatch ones first and then the clean ones, and you can decide for yourself what you think. So the trappy version or the heaving version, what I'm looking to do is make it so it is a true heave. So I'm looking to make this feel very muscular and look very muscular, and I'm not going to hit it off my hip. I'm basically going to lap it or cushion it into my hip or high thigh, and then I'm going to try to pull it in one smooth motion. So it's going to be here. I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to let it go to mid thigh, and I'm going to heave it. I'm getting a big hinge over the top, and then to snatch it, I'll go through to there. Hopefully you can already see, if you think about a normal snatch and that pull is taking a much longer time for you to get through it, because as I bring my hips through and I don't bring it into my hip, the bar is coming up and out and I'm having to fight with my upper body to keep it in. So I'm having to pull for a bit longer with my upper body, which is going to elongate the second pull. So if you struggle with finishing your pull, you always feel like you kind of tap and drop. This is probably a variation of pulls or powers or even full snatches that you would benefit from, because it's teaching you to elongate that pull and be patient and deal with a slower bar and having to be more muscular about the exercise. So then you're actually getting proper height. The bounce variations is that's opposite. I'm going to do a little dip to get the bar off of me. And as it comes back down, I'm trying to treat it as if I'm either like hitting a cricket ball or a baseball. I'm trying to home run it. I'm trying to hit it for 6. Or you could also liken it to the bar is a basketball, my hips are the floor, and I'm trying to bounce it off that as hard as possible. Now, when I do this, think about how fast the trappy was or how slow it was going from second pull into transition. Think about a normal snatch and how fast it is. Then look at the speed of which I go from contact to the hip to overhead in the snatch. So we're going to go here. We're going to start with pulls. I'll do a panda pull as well. Then I'll do a normal power snatch. If you were to play those videos side by side, you should notice that there's basically no time between contact and under. On the bounce power, whereas on the trappy, you have quite a bit of time to deal with this pulling motion to really get used to make your muscles work. So in the clean, it's going to be very, very similar. You can use straps for these when you're doing the pulls, maybe even the power cleans. If you do the full variations of this, I probably wouldn't use straps. That's just my preference. I don't feel that safe doing it. But again, if you want to do it, that's your choice. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to bring it up, nice and tall. And for the trappy or the heaving version, I'm going to go here. I'm going to try and get to sterling height. And then for the actual trappy pull or clean, it's going to jump and heave. Again, looks a little bit faster than the snatch. It's not traveling as far, but hopefully you get the point. It's more muscular. You're more connected to the bar the whole way through. And it's not as like ballistic or as explosive. It doesn't look like we're changing gears as we finish contact to extension. The speed just looks very similar the whole way through. So now for the bounce variation, on this, try to make sure it comes off the apex of your thigh up here. If you look at your thigh, there's like a little curve to it. Hit at the top of the curve. If you hit in the middle, you will give yourself a dead leg. It's not very nice. So I'll show you a pull, a panda pull, then I'll show you the bounce power clean. So remember, I'm trying to treat my legs or the top of my thigh as that bouncy ball. So it's here. So let's go for a high pull first. And a panda. And then a power clean. Again, hopefully you can see with that the bounce is just making you have to move from driving up to under faster. So you don't have much time to produce force or to reverse yourself under the bar. The trappy is making you work for longer. It's dilating out that time it takes the second pull and transition under. So if you feel like you don't finish your second pull, you don't feel very strong pulling weights, your power clean and power snatch, for example, aren't very good, you probably want to do the trapeze. If you feel like you've got plenty of strength, you've got a big surplus of strength in the squat, and you just don't ever feel like you can really get to grips with the snatch or the clean because you're not getting under fast enough, even though the bar is sky high, do the bounce variations when you warm up. Maybe even just replace your power snatches with the bounces for a bit, because that learning to deal with 60, 70, maybe even 80% of your max, being able to get that ballistic contact and drop straight away, forcing yourself to move faster, will make the snatch and clean feel really slow in comparison, so you'll be able to manage that transition.